Welcome to World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, fact-based, and insightful political analysis, please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Today we explore a controversial legislative development in the American Midwest, one that has implications for political power, representation, and democratic accountability. In the state of Indiana, Republican lawmakers are moving ahead with a new plan to redraw Senate district boundaries. Redistricting typically follows the decennial census, but lawmakers have the authority to revise legislative maps more frequently, a process that profoundly affects how communities are represented. At its core, the current proposal aims to reshape Indiana's state Senate districts in ways that critics say could bolster Republican majorities for years to come. Supporters argue that the changes are necessary to reflect population shifts and ensure fair representation. Opponents counter that the maps have been drawn to favor incumbents and dilute the voting power of certain demographic groups, entrenching partisan advantage rather than fostering balanced representation. This debate is not unique to Indiana. Across the United States, redistricting battles have become a central arena for partisan strategy, with both major parties seeking maps that favor their electoral prospects. How districts are drawn can determine who wins elections long before voters cast their ballots. District boundaries shape which communities are grouped together, which voters can influence specific races, and ultimately who gets elected to shape policy. In Indiana's case, the Republican majority argues that the proposed map responds to demographic changes, including population growth in urban and suburban counties. They maintain that the plan will preserve competitive districts while ensuring rural areas remain fairly represented. Supporters stress that a shift in boundaries is a normal part of democratic adjustment, essential to keeping representation aligned with population trends. However, critics express concern that the map gives too much advantage to one party, weakening electoral competition and marginalizing voices that oppose Republican policies. Civil rights advocates warn that such maps can diminish the political influence of historically underrepresented communities, hamper bipartisan cooperation, and reduce accountability by shrinking the incentive for elected officials to address the needs of all constituents. As the redistricting process unfolds, public hearings and legal challenges are likely to follow. Citizens, advocacy groups, and political observers will scrutinize the specifics of the new lines, debating whether they reflect population realities or political calculation. The controversy in Indiana illustrates a larger trend in American politics: the struggle over who gets to shape political boundaries and, by extension, political power. Redistricting is more than a technical task. It is a fundamental element of democratic governance with direct consequences for how voters are heard and how policy priorities are set. When one party controls the redistricting process, there is a risk that maps will be drawn to maximize partisan gain rather than to promote fair competition. This phenomenon, often referred to as gerrymandering, can lead to legislatures that reflect the interests of political elites more than those of the electorate. It can also discourage voter participation if citizens feel their votes have little impact on outcomes. In contrast, proponents of independent redistricting commissions argue that removing the process from direct political control encourages fairer maps and strengthens democratic accountability. Some states have set up such commissions precisely to avoid the appearance and effect of partisan manipulation. Indiana's approach, however, remains firmly in the legislature's hands, leaving the outcome subject to vigorous debate and political maneuvering. For voters in Indiana, the stakes are immediate. State senators decide on education budgets, health policy, infrastructure priorities, tax policy, and regulatory frameworks that shape daily life. The composition of the Senate influences which laws are passed, how resources are allocated, and whose voices are amplified in state government. Beyond Indiana, the debate resonates nationally because similar battles are unfolding in numerous states. As the political landscape shifts and population movements continue, the way districts are drawn will play a crucial role in shaping legislative majorities ahead of future election cycles. For political parties, these maps are strategic tools. For citizens, they are the foundation of representation. Observers note that redistricting reform remains a key issue in broader discussions about democratic renewal. Public pressure for transparency, fairness, and accountability in drawing district lines is growing. Whether Indiana's plan withstands scrutiny, legal challenge, or public opposition will help illustrate the evolving tension between partisan strategy and democratic fairness in American politics. Thank you for watching this report on world news by Denis Halandzovskyi. If this analysis was helpful, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Your engagement supports independent reporting and thoughtful discussion. Stay informed and see you in the next update.